Alright guys, it was a beautiful afternoon today. Decided to take a bike ride, and I wanted to show y'all a pretty cool piece of history that's here in Bessemer, Alabama. This is Sam Dunn's Saloon. So back around the turn of the century, this place right here would have been happening. Tons of stuff going on here. I'm sure there was quite a few brawls on the street. And right next door to the saloon was actually a theater. This place probably had whiskey jugs and flasks that were embossed, and that's something that I would love to have. As a matter of fact, Clayton may have one, I'm not for sure. But this is a pretty cool place though. I'm gonna keep on driving around and see what else I can find. This may just be a city adventure today. We'll have to see. Sadly, most of Bessemer has become abandoned or for sale. This building that we're looking at right over here at the top, it says Long Lewis Hardware Company, successors, etc., Bessemer Cornice Works. Okay, so they actually built Fords there, I think back in the 1910s to 1920s, right around there. So I'm assuming Model Ts, Model A's, something like that. So that building right there has a ton of history behind it. Now for most of you, you know that when you look down and you see brick sidewalks, that you're, or not even a sidewalk, brick roadways, that you're in a really old area. The reason that I stopped here is because of this building right here. This was the bank and pawn that was established in 1898. This building's for sale too. It did have a historical plaque. It's seen better days. I've seen pictures of the inside of this building. Sadly, it's on lockdown. But on the inside, there's a vault that's still standing from back at the turn of the century, and it's got walls that are incredibly thick. I wouldn't mind having that building either. I have one of those pipe dreams, guys, of one day opening an antique store / bottle museum. Who knows, maybe it'll happen one day. That bird up there is none too happy with me. Hope y'all can make out the sign right here on the side. Bank and Pawn, established 1898. Let's go see what else we can find. Here's the original train station. Y'all have been inside of this in a couple of my videos. It's the Bessemer Hall of History. There's tons of cool stuff in there. Y'all come by and pay them a visit. Right across the street from it, J. Colley, wholesale wines, whiskey, and beer. And yes, that has been repainted, but that's originally what the building was, and it had faded, and they took the time to redo it, which is pretty cool. It's a very cool building. Right here, this is something that I just love. You can see that the plaster is coming off the wall, and that's the original sign that you see behind the plaster right there. Now this side over here that says Coca-Cola has been repainted, but what's behind that plaster is dadgum original, which is really cool. You can see that it says 5 cents and then try, and I don't know if that was Coca-Cola, I don't know if that was Try Me, I don't know what's behind that plaster. I'd love to know though. It's a really cool building. Both of these buildings are really cool. It's hard to think about that right here in Bessemer, Alabama is the home to the rarest Coca-Cola Hutchinson bottle. Now, those bottles go for $6,000 to $8,000, and I've spent a ton of time in this little town studying the buildings and trying to find the city dump, and there has not been anybody that has been able to locate it. So there is literally a gold mine of antique bottles buried somewhere, probably right under our feet. Crazy to think about. Now this will probably be the last stop of our little mini micro motorcycle adventure. And y'all have seen this in a past video, but I mislabeled it. This was the Bessemer Ice House, or the Bessemer Ice Company. And back then it was an entire business just to be able to build, or make ice rather. It's a pretty cool old building. It's been sitting here abandoned for quite some time. And a lot of times ice companies did make bottles too. So it's possible there could be a Bessemer Ice Company hutch out there, and there may be that I'm just not aware of. I don't know all of the variants of this town. I'd have to ask Clayton that. But it's a pretty cool old building. I hope y'all enjoyed this little bit of a micro mini adventure. I just wanted to get out. My wife and daughter are visiting her sister, and my daughter is having a blast playing with her cousins. So I decided to get out and do a bit of exploring for y'all. So in either case, if you did enjoy it, be sure that you're subscribed, and we'll catch you guys in next week's adventure.